sentence writing is art. If the students are familiar with the art, they will be able to write the sentence, they will understand the sentence, and if they know the type of the sentence, it is easier to ask them. So in this lecture, I am going to explain the type of English sentence, and these are simple sentence, compound sentence, complex sentence, complex compound sentence with apposite, and sentence with participle. I hope that you will try to understand the different type of this sentence, and then your writing will become the perfect. So, simple sentence. The simple sentence is called independent clause. It has a one subject and one verb. For example, I live in San Francisco. Here in this sentence, I is subject and live is verb. So in San Francisco is a propositional phrase. Next type is a compound sentence. So compound sentence is made up of two simple sentences joined by one of the following. Number one, a semicolon. Number two, for example, I like to study grammar. I love this class. Number two, conjunction, voice. I like to study grammar and comma, I love this class. A semicolon and transition word. For instance, I like to study grammar, semicolon, therefore, comma, I love this class. So, this sentence is same, but we can write it in three ways. So, first, you can see here a semicolon. So, we use one independent clause, semicolon, and other independent clause. In the second case, we use a conjunction, one independent clause, comma, conjunction, and second independent clause. Third, a semicolon and transitional, one independent clause, semicolon, therefore transitional, and I love this class. So you can write the complex sentence in these three ways. Next, connect using a semicolon, independent clause, comma, independent clause. I love living in a city, therefore, there's so many things to do. Here, one independent clause, second independent clause, and comma. Next, independent clause, comma, connect using coordinated conjunction. So, in case of coordinated conjunction, for example, he could not watch the show, so he decided to take it. In this case, one independent clause, second independent clause, and you can also coordinated conjunction. So, here, one independent clause, second independent clause, and conjunction. Next, coordinated conjunction are for addition, we use and, for contrast, but and yet, for choice, or and not, for cause, for result, so. Here we use the fan Y. So for we use F and A, not N, but B, O, R, or for R, and Z, Y. So this is a fine Y. So mostly we use this conjunction to combine the compound sentence. So far, caution, do not use comma if there is not two independent clause. For example, in this sentence, you can see the necklace was a beautiful but expensive. Here, there are no two independent clauses, so we will not use the comma. In this case, the necklace was beautiful, but the ring was ugly. If we use such kind of sentence, then we will use the comma. So here, no need to use the comma. Next, connect using a transitional. So here, the transitional are independent clause, semicolon, transitional, and independent clause. I love San Francisco, semicolon. However, I hate the TOEFL. Independent clause, and here is the transitional and with the semicolon. Finally, combine two sentences to make it compound sentence using either a semicolon, coordination conjunction, or semicolon with transitional. So this sentence, these are two independent clause. Now you can use two independent used by, but you can also use semicolon. You can also use semicolon and transitional with the comma. Next is complex sentence. So for writing of the complex sentence, usually complex sentence contain at least one independent clause. So one independent clause and one dependent clause. Dependent clause begin with the keywords just John cannot set up his typewriter. Independent clause. Subordinate conjunction are because the wall has no outlet. So it's a dependent clause. So it's in the complex sentence, you can see is the one independent clause and other is dependent clause. The most of the dependent clause start with the word subordinate conjunction. Complex sentence, in this sentence begin with the subordinate conjunction like until she find a job, she will go to school in the city until she find a job. Subordinate, dependent, independent clause, subordinate conjunction, and dependent clause. Here, complex sentence, use a comma after a dependent clause if it begin with a sentence. So keep in mind if when I first move to the city, the dependent subordinate conjunction is first, then we use the comma after it. So here is a comma, so a dependent clause. I was afraid to drive this steep and narrow street. It's independent clause. Complex sentence, we also use relative pronoun. Independent clause, dependent clause, and relative pronoun. I have read nearly every model relative pronoun J.K. Rowling has written. Dependent clause. So independent clause, dependent clause. Complex sentence. The dependent clause in this sentence begin with the relative pronoun. Dr. Charles Richard devised the Richter scale, which is used to measure the magnitude of earthquake. So independent clause and dependent clause. Sentence use. So it's a complex sentence, and if we use two or more independent clause, then it becomes the complex compound sentence. Now we talk about the apposite phrase. An apposite is a noun or noun phrase
that immediately follow other noun. An opposite explain or define the noun it follow antecedent because it's the adjective. Mexico City, the biggest city in the world, is opposite. It can be used as adjective. Has many interesting archaeological sites. Mexico City, the big city in the world, so it's the opposite. Next, Denver, the capital of Colorado, is the home of the Denver Broncos, the best football team in the USA. So here, the capital of Denver, the best football, both are opposite. An opposite is a noun phrase that immediately follow other noun. I will explain, define noun that Sophia, Daniel's friend, said that maybe the party would be at Adam's house. In this sentence, Daniel's friend is the opposite. The altitude of Lisa, the capital Tibet, is over 12 foot. Here, the capital of Tibet is the opposite. Next, we talk about participle phrase. Description sentence. A participle is a verb form that can be used as an adjective. Participle begin with the keyword with eng. Here, eng or ed. Participle phrase, simple sentence. Enjoying a beautiful day at the beach. It's a participle phrase. Miss Morono took her paddle board out the ocean. So, Miss, it's a simple sentence. Here, you can see the different type of the sentence, like for example, this is a highlight sentence. Confused by strange direction in the letter is a past participle phrase. Sarah looked at the bar. It's a simple sentence. Similarly, George ran a class simple sentence, rushing through the bar at the breakneck speed. If we use so here you can see we use the comma to separate the participle phrase with the simple sentence. Similarly, looking at the cat competing for prize is a choose the lovely image. So in this way you can design the participle phrase. So here we have some words that can be used for the relationship and addition, moreover, furthermore, in addition, beside, contrast, however, in contrast, on the contrary, on the other hand, result or effect, consequently, accordingly, thus, therefore, as a result, reinforcement, if we say indeed, in fact. So relation transition, exemplification, for example, for instance, in a particular, these can be used for example, time. Meanwhile, if the two events are at the same time, significantly after, thereafter, reinforcement, indeed, in fact, and for example. So, I hope that now you have understand what are the sentence, simple sentence, compound sentence, complex sentence, compound complex sentence, and use of opposite and participle. If you like this lecture, please subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon for watching the upcoming video.